Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of my Junk Journal from Start to Finish series. I'm very sorry this episode is so late. I haven't been posting many YouTube videos lately. I had a very busy time lately, and then with the virus scare, I guess I was a bit distracted, but I'm very happy to be back with recording and uploading videos for you. And so if you remember, if you have been following the series, in the first episode we made the covers for our two journals along with some fun inside pockets. Then in the second episode we chose pages for our signatures and did some basic embellishments on them. And here in the third episode I want to share with you some simple ideas for making ephemera for your junk journals. They are going to be very simple pieces that I believe everyone can do. There's not going to be any like sewing machine stitching, because I know that not everyone has a sewing machine or wants to use one. So my aim with this whole series is just to make it as simple as possible and to show you that you can make beautiful journals without really too much supplies and too much effort. But before I begin, you can see I've already begun on the screen, but let me just tell you that I really hope you guys are staying safe and staying healthy and staying positive, and just stay at home and take care of yourselves. And by the way, if you haven't seen the previous parts of this series, I will link them down below for you in the description box. So what you see me doing here is I took the same book that we used for our covers to make the covers of our journals, and I'm making some tags with them. So I chose some pages with beautiful images that I thought would look great on the tags, and I'm now using my Sizzix die cutting machine to die cut some tags. I'm using Tim Holtz tag dies, and of course you don't have to use a Sizzix machine for this or any dies, anything like this. You can just cut the tags out yourself with your scissors. I'm using the Sizzix just because I have it and it's much quicker for me. So I just cut a few templates. I think some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, and now I'm also choosing some more pages to make envelopes, because in this episode we are going to be making a few tags, a few envelopes, and a cute tuck spot that you can put your ephemera into. So now that I've chose the pages, I have this very, very cheap and simple envelope punch board. It's really nothing fancy, and yet it works wonders. I love making envelopes and I love having this board. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting my pages into squares, and here I'm showing you the measurements. So it shows me what size I need my papers to be to achieve what size of an envelope, basically. And it also shows me here on the scale that I have on the left side of my punch board where I need to put my paper, where I have to make the indentations. And so first I'm making some indentations following the measurements that I checked before, and as you can see, it's quite simple. It's really nothing complicated. You just follow the guidelines and you follow the lines, and it's so easy. And if you like making envelopes, I can definitely recommend getting a punch board like this. Like I said, it's nothing fancy, it's nothing expensive. And the punch board came with this sponge, which has sort of two options. It rounds the corners of my envelope, but it also makes these sort of notches where I'm going to be folding. So it's just as simple as that. Now I'm going to fold my envelope. I'm going to sort of check which side I like the best, which part I want to be a flap and which part I want to be like the solid envelope that's going to be glued down. And now I'm just going to be gluing the envelope close, and that's basically it. And there you have your sort of basic envelope that you can further decorate. And of course, with beautiful book pages, you don't even have to do much with your envelope. Okay, so I'm making 2 envelopes because if you remember from the previous parts of this series, we are making 2 journals, and I love these book pages so much. And I also think that if you are sticking to one book, choosing your book pages from, then it makes your project a little bit more cohesive. So it really gives this sort of finished, well thought look to the journal, where the cover and the ephemera, it all matches. Of course, you don't have to do it. I very often just go for it and I pull 10 books from my stash and choose pages from all of them. But in this project, I'm really happy that I just stuck to this one book and it made beautiful covers and beautiful ephemera. So now back to my tags. I had those sort of templates, and I also cut the same amount of tags out of this brown cardstock. It's a lightweight cardstock, and I'm gluing those 2 layers together. So this is going to be to give some sturdiness to my tags, because obviously the book pages are not very thick. They would be very flimsy, and now they just have some more substance to them. And of course, if you want to sew around the tags, feel free to do this at this point. I decided I did not want to sew. Like I said, I wanted to keep it simple, so I just made sure that I had enough glue on the edges as well, and to keep my 2 layers together. And if I notice that I did not glue them properly, then I would go back with some wet glue and fix it. So now I decided that these tags, although they are so beautiful on their own because of the book pages and all, that they needed something else. And I love adding labels to my project. So here you see me pulling out some labels from my stash. Most of them are from Tracy Fox, who is Love Junk Journals on Etsy. Some of the bigger ones that you could see are from Roxy Creations on Etsy. But basically, I think I've chosen all of the Tracy Fox's labels, and I'm just gluing them down. Some of them are overhanging the edge of the tag, and I'm going to be cutting down the excess. This is what I do often with my labels. I don't know why, I just I kind of like the look of it, and also because these labels are quite big. Well, maybe not big, but they are not tiny. I did not want them to cover too much of the image. I like adding labels to my journaling cards and to my tags because You can journal on the back, obviously, but then you can put a date on the front or put just a little note that indicates what you're going to be journaling on the back. This is what I like doing in my own junk journal. If you are familiar with my Junk Journal with Me series, you know that I use a lot of labels just to describe very shortly what I'm journaling about or what the photo is about or anything like this. So now what you could see me do is, of course, ink the edges of the tags. I'm using the Distress Oxide in Vintage Photo by Tim Holtz, which is what I usually use for inking the edges of my journaling cards and tags. And now I have this reinforcer punch. This is from We Are Memory Keepers. I got it on Amazon and I really like it because I love those little circles, those little reinforcer circles. I like the look of them on my tags. Again, it gives an even more finished look. So I chose a light brown cardstock and I cut out two of these circles for each of the tags, and I'm gluing them, one on the back and one on the front. And this is also going to make the whole a little bit stronger. Obviously it reinforces the holes a little bit because I'm going to be putting some ribbons and some sari silk and some charms through those holes, so I just want them quite sturdy and I wouldn't like them to rip. So here I'm showing you how these tags looks at the moment. Again, I love those book pages so much, and just see how little you really need to make beautiful tags. Just a beautiful book page or a patterned paper and just a cutout tag template and basically a label. So now I'm choosing some ribbons like I mentioned, and I have some stunning sari silk ribbons. They come from the shop on Etsy called Perineons. I will link them below, but I think they are taking a break due to some shipping restrictions with the virus situation, but they will definitely be back, and they have amazing colors of the sari silk ribbons. They are all hand dyed by the owner of the shop, and she makes a great job, and they are very high quality as well. So I'm choosing some colors that I think would look nice with my tags. And I think I maybe chose some lace also, I don't know. Anyway, so here I'm just showing you how you can, put the label through the hole. Here I'm making just this little bow, which I think looks cute, but you can also just put the ribbon through the hole and then sort of like I'm doing here, loop it on its like on itself, sort of. Not very good at explaining, obviously, but I hope you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just making sure I have some variation in this, and yeah. And after I'm done with this, what you will see me do is add some bulb pins, which are those small, slightly circular safety pins. I get them from AliExpress, and I will be adding some beads and some charms to my tags as well. This is what I really like to do. I think I just like dangly things, I guess, on my projects. Yeah, so these are the bulb pins that I mentioned, and yeah, and I think in a moment you will see, yeah, my box of charms. So sorry guys if this voiceover is kind of like all over the place. I've edited this video a long time ago, and I'm only getting to voice over it now. So I kind of don't remember exactly what I did or what order I did it, but yeah, I hope it's not too bad. So here I'm choosing some beads as well. As you can see, I've chosen some flower and some leaf charms, so staying in this botanical theme, and just some beads in the colors that supplement, sort of supplement that work well together with the colors of the tags and the colors of the ribbons. Now I'm just choosing a bead, choosing a charm, and I'm going to be putting this bob pin through the ribbon and closing it so that it dangles on the front of my tags, obviously. And yeah, I really like the look of it. So, how have you guys been in this difficult time, strange time that we are in? I'm wondering if you've been like crafting more. Tell me how you're spending your social distancing time, and what do you do when you have so much time to sit at home. I'm trying to get myself distracted with work, so I'm crafting a lot. I'm making 6 new journals, hardcover spring journals at the moment, and it's a good distraction for me because I'm not. I think I'm more of an introvert, but still I'm not very good at just sitting alone at my at my apartment, and I live alone, so I don't have much choice in this matter. But crafting helps and journaling helps, and also the weather. The weather is great, especially where I live in Poland. We are definitely entering the spring, so this kind of makes you hopeful, and the days are getting longer. So it's definitely easier to endure than it would be if it was, I don't know, raining and gloomy all the time. So here are the finished tags. I hope you like them, and of course, like I mentioned, you can do really a lot more to them. These are very basic tags, but you can decorate them further. You can decorate the back, maybe some stamping, maybe some sewing. But yeah, it's again, it's just to show you how little you really need to make something beautiful that will look beautiful in your journals. So back to our envelopes. I'm now gluing all the flaps. So now this tiny piece here, and then the main sort of body of the envelope. I'm using my wet glue to glue it down, and then I'm going to be slightly embellishing the flap of the envelopes as well as the back of the envelopes. And again, you don't have to do it. Those book page envelopes are already beautiful as they are, and yeah, I guess I just like to embellish everything, so that's why I'm doing it. Also, like I said, these are very basic ideas for ephemera for your journals, but I have a lot more tutorials here on my channel. I have more sort of envelope tutorials, ephemera tutorials. I will link some of them below for you if you're interested, and if you're looking for some more ideas on how to make ephemera for your junk journals, definitely check out my playlist, which is called Craft With Me /tutorials. I think this is what it's called. I think I can also link the whole playlist below, and you will find a lot more inspiration there. And also, if you are interested in how to fill a junk journal, I have a junk journal with me series. I haven't made a junk journal with me video in a while now, but that's because I am in a desperate need of a new junk journal, and I'll be making one for myself very soon, and I'll definitely have more junk journal with me videos. So here what I'm showing you is I just chose a few lace pieces. This is some antique lace that I found on a flea market, and I just chose a few scraps, layered them, and stapled them. So again, you don't need a sewing machine to put them on, to put those fabrics on your envelopes. I just used a stapler, and I have these cool sort of vintage looking staples that I got from AliExpress. So it just gives a nice vintage look, I guess. So now I'm just choosing a few washi tape pieces to very simply decorate the backs of my envelopes, because they are already so pretty, and I did not want to cover the beautiful illustrations on the back. So now the last piece that we are going to be making together today is a tack spot with some decoration and some space for journaling as well. So I'm going through my journals here and choosing the pages where I would like to put my tack spots. I've chosen those blank pages that I have no decoration on, so I can use the whole page, you know, for my tack spot and for whatever I'm going to put in the tack spot. Now I have these loose book pages. They are from a different book that we have been using here so far, and I am cutting a piece of these book pages, and I think, yeah, so these pieces are square, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold those tack spots in half, like you will see me in a moment, and these are going to be those corner tack spots. I'm not sure, I have seen them a lot in like many videos. I'm not sure who was the first sort of person to come up with this idea, but it's a great idea, because it gives you both a tack spot and a secret spot for journaling. So I'm just folding my square in half so that it creates a triangle, which I'm going to be gluing like the two sides off onto my page a little bit later. And now I'm choosing just some I'm choosing some little embellishments that will go inside of this flap sort of thing that we have here. And of course I'm going with a label. I love labels, and this one is from Roxy Creations, from Rachel, and yeah, it will give me a little bit of space to just write down what's in the tack spot, for example, or write a date of my journaling on this page, whatever. So now I think, yeah, I'm looking for some die cut that I wanted to use on the flap to decorate it a little bit further. And I think I decided on a butterfly. This box contains just some die cuts that I have cut using either my Sizzix die cut machine, or I just fussy cut from books, and they are all botanical and flower themed. So I chose the butterfly that I thought the colors went really well with the green of the label. And now I'm just taking some of this tea stain cheesecloth that I have, which gives a beautiful texture and I love using it. And I'm going to be gluing down the butterfly straight on the cheesecloth. And yeah, and I like how it looks. Again, it's very simple. It's nothing complicated, but it's nice, you know. You open up this corner tuck spot, and this pretty butterfly just picks at you. Okay, and now we are going to be gluing the tack spot onto the page. So I'm gluing those two shorter edges of my triangle so that it's going to be like a top loading tack spot. Just make sure you don't glue it all the way to your page, because then it's just going to be a flip, which is fine as well. But if you want to tack something inside, just remember to glue just those two sides. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I made the second one off camera. I hope you found some inspiration in this, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Yeah, take care and stay safe. Bye.